995.com. Sunshine is out. It is a beautiful Monday morning. It is the 17th of August, 2026, and it's going to be a hot day today. Only a 20% chance of an afternoon shower. 99 will be the high. 99. But here's the good news. Each day this week, it looks like the temperature comes down a little bit. 20% chance of rain tomorrow, 97. Sunny on Wednesday, high of 95. And if you look into Thursday, Friday, it looks like we're in the 92 range, 91, 92. So just hang in there. And again, be careful if you got to be outside for any length of time. Maybe you're one of those folks that has an outdoor job. We're thinking about you today. Construction workers, road crews, anybody that has lawn care services. It's brutal out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're working anywhere near asphalt, God bless you.
Can we wait until October to do that,
Oof,
please?
Today is not the right day for this, man. But you know what? Into each life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You got to do what you got to do. I understand. Get out there, make it happen. And probably not your first rodeo, I'm going to guess, right? If you are in that business, chances are good you have walked this road a time or two before.
A way to work through it. So, but man.
Man, oh man.
No, thank you.
I'll pass. 807 Dixon and Vining Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing wants to remind you that there is a better way. A better way than just the old taking a stab at it, the guessing of how much am I going to charge for this house, this piece of property? How much in the world should I be? I don't know. I have no earthly idea. Let's see. The house across the street sold for this much. That was 2 years ago. Maybe has it gone up? Has it gone down? We don't know. So you take a stab at it. You put a price on it. Either it sells very quickly and you go, ooh, I should have gotten more. Or it sits and languishes forever, and then you price it again, and then you reprice it yet again. And before long, you're starting to wonder, is this ever going to end? Having control over the process, the speed of the process, every step of the process is what they do at Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing. They get people together, qualified buyers, cash in hand, to come to your property and bid for your property against each other. So you're getting the best market value. Whether you're dealing with a commercial piece or you're dealing with a home or you're dealing with a piece of undeveloped real estate, whatever the case may be, they are going to help you, and you're going to get a set date of sale, a set date of close, and the buyer pays all the closing costs and the cost of sale. So whatever that last bid is, you get all of that money, all of it. That's very, 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 very good, and not something that happens every day when it comes to buying and selling property. So go to gtauctions.com to find out more. If you already have a listing agent, you can go and bring them with you when you go to gtauctions.com and when you set up a meeting with Jack Granger or one of his fine folks. And a lot of times these listing agents are very, very excited about finding yet another tool to help, with the entire process here that can be so much guesswork that you just got to be careful with it. GTauctions.com, Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing, GTauctions.com.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, officials in Indiana have confirmed that at least now 7 people have died following severe storms that caused flash flooding all across that state. The flooding, which began last week, led to a record amount of rainfall, causing streams and rivers to overflow. The victims range in age from 4 to 86 years old. Now, the governor there has requested a presidential emergency declaration to access federal resources, which President Donald Trump has granted. So that's good news for them. But this has just been unbelievable, the flooding they've had to deal with. In Hamilton County alone, 40 residents were forced to evacuate. In Noblesville, 170 residents were evacuated over the past 72 hours. And so the state of emergency is in place. And just an incredible amount of water. If y'all haven't seen images from what's going on in Indiana, it is not pretty. And those waters aren't going to recede anytime soon.
No, and usually, in fact, it's a case that it'll probably go up a little bit before it comes back down again. Because, there's a lot of water upstream that hasn't found its way to you yet.
That's exactly right, Richard. Hey, police in Virginia have arrested a 19-year-old male in connection to a shooting that took place at Virginia State University. This took place on Saturday. Police searched for hours for the suspect after 5 people were wounded. One of those individuals is in critical condition. Officers received a call about 1:28 a.m. and discovered the 5 individuals suffering from gunshot wounds outside VSU Residence Hall. Cameron Harris, who is not a student at the university but was found after an hours-long manhunt hiding in a closet, which was inside one of the campus dorms. Harris is being held now in jail without bond. He'll be facing charges, possibly more charges, today and the coming days. VSU is located some 25 miles south of Richmond, just to kind of give you a little perspective on that college. Kind of a smaller college. It's not, some of the bigger ones that they have in Virginia. But I'm glad that they found this individual, and interesting, he's not a student, but somehow found his way into a dorm, into a closet to hide out.
Historically black university, 5 injured, 1 life completely destroyed, because the chances are very, very good he's not going to breathe free air ever again. Mm-hmm. You take a gun to a college campus and you shoot 5 people, they tend to frown upon that.
Not good. And again, when you talk about more charges, this guy has ruined other lives. I say that first and foremost, not thinking about his own life and his own family. Mm-hmm. But you're going to be done for quite some time with this many injuries. And again, one is in critical condition. If that person ends up losing their life, then you've got another situation here. And that may be what they're sitting and waiting and thinking might happen. So we'll follow this and see what comes out of it in the next couple of days with more charges. And the U.S. continues to ramp up economic pressure on Iran as the war continues. Now, today marks the 60th day. We were in this mode of trying to figure out how to open up the Strait of Hormuz and get to some kind of deal or an agreement. That hasn't happened. We want to, of course, make sure that Iran has no nuclear capabilities. That's first and foremost. Secondly, we want to open up the Strait of Hormuz so that tankers with products can move through there without the threat of being shot at. I think there were 5 that went through on Saturday, but they're still lobbing, bombs and drones and whatnot on some of these tankers. Iran attacked 2 United Arab Emirates ships in the Strait late Thursday. President Trump wants to lower oil prices, of course, for all of us as the standoff continues. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said additional financial sanctions on Iran could be announced in the coming days, might even be today if we just sit tight long enough to see what happens with this. But Iran's economy is in shambles right now. It just feels like nothing you do, they don't care. I mean, even Donald Trump said, y'all need to wave the white flag. You're done. You don't have any military. You have no navy. Yes, you're able to lob an occasional bomb here or there on one of these ships, but other than that, there's nothing else you can do. Mm-hmm. So
I agree. They're being steadfastly pig-headed, which is odd for Muslims. Anyway, they just refuse to quit. They're going to continue to, and their people are the ones that are losing. Obviously,
yeah, they're the ones that are hurting the most.
Pretty sure the guys at the top are finding food for themselves. Everyone else can starve, as far as they're concerned.
Frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating to watch this.
They got to keep that power. That power is just the most important thing in the world to them, and it's Islam. And they honestly and sincerely believe when you're fighting for a religious purpose like this, reason flies out the window.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do, how to handle this situation, except and I don't know why we haven't tried it. But stripping down to the next level of leadership might be the next answer here. But I do think that Trump is playing it wisely by saying, okay, let's have some patience here and let's choke them economically to the point where they just don't have a leg to stand on. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we can bomb them some more, absolutely. But, this so-called memorandum of understanding, you might recall, was supposed to open up the Strait of Hormuz 60 days ago, and it was open for all of 2 weeks. And then Iran lobbed some more bombs, and it was just like, boy, you guys, you can't stick to anything, can you?
No.
So any sort of negotiated peace agreement that you might get out of these guys, not worth the paper it's printed on, right?
It's not, no. Well, and they'd be in a meeting, and like 2 hours later, we'd come out with, a verbal agreement on something, and we'd come out, and then they'd say, oh, no, we didn't say that.
We never said that. We didn't agree on that.
Okay, right. So we're coming out of the meeting, and we're lying about what was said in the meeting? I don't think so. I think we're coming out saying this is what they agreed upon.
Right.
And then they go, no, we changed our mind. You're like, oh, God, how in the world are you ever going to come to terms and have them autograph something? And even so, you can't trust that.
Yeah.
That's the problem with
We
this.
just wasted a whole lot of time meeting
Yep.
with you guys is what it comes down to. 8:16 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Something happened Friday after we left the airwaves that we have not had the chance to address yet. We'll get to it in mere moments. 8:21, Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. It is Monday, and a hot one at that. This is going to be one of the warmest days that we have had thus far this year, with a high of 99. Heat index way up in the hundreds, 106, 108, something.
Saw 112.
112.
Feels like 112.
Woof.
Oh,
boy.
that's brutal out there.
Yeah, it's going to feel like 72 inside my house.
Let me tell you how hot it got yesterday.
How hot
This is
was
how
it?
hot it got yesterday at my house. I bought a new garden hose that's out back.
Yeah.
It's not even 8 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, in my previous home ownership, I had a garden hose that was out there for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Used it all the time. No problem. Yesterday, so the faucet got turned on. It has a sprayer on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was left on. So the sun is on the hose and it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I just happened to be looking out the back door and I saw this just huge spray of water, and I thought it was coming from the roof down.
Yeah.
And it was actually from the ground up, and I was like, what the heck was that? I go out there, sure as the world, the hose split. There's
Yep.
a big old split, and the water went spewing up out of the hose.
This happened to
I
me
was
not
like-
long ago as well.
I was like, that thing isn't 8 months old.
Yeah. That water got so hot.
It got so hot, and the pressure that was in the hose it just
It
blew.
expanded. It expanded and blew the
blew it.
hose. Yeah.
And I mean, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, so the sun hadn't even been on it that long.
I have learned to turn off that spigot every time and empty the hose of water before I leave it hanging up there. Yeah.
It's like my umbrella and my glass table.
It's just
I mean, it's just one of those things.
acts of God.
God, cuss.
Don't know why God hates you.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Hey.
And this is, folks, this is one of the reasons why you need a financial expert like Danny Knowles, because he can help to budget for that garden hose when it goes kaput like that. And all joking aside, what a wonderful group this is. Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group are about financial planning, budgeting, investing, retirement, insurance, taxes, and estate. You really need to think about all of those things. And unless you're an expert in all of these different fields, it's really difficult to get that plan put together. So let them customize it. It's very important. We're all different about what we want to achieve in our life, what we need our nest egg to be, and some of the size of the nest egg is dependent upon what you want to do later in life. If you want to travel a whole lot, you want to sell that house and get an RV and go across the country for several years, whatever it may be, your plans may be different from mine, different than Richard's, different than Steve's. So this is why you pick up the phone and you get in touch with Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group. And however young, or maybe you're in the middle of life, maybe you're a little bit older and you're thinking about retirement, it's so important to go ahead and get this put together so you don't have to worry about it. The Knowles Group, find them online and find out a little bit more about them on their website as well. TheKnowlesGroup.com. It's Knowles. TheKnowlesGroup.com.
All right, something Friday that we talked about a great deal but never got to actually participate in was the Luigi Mangione case, where he was going to come into court, and it was rumored, discussed, believed that he was going to plead guilty to the 2 federal stalking charges. It was stalking leading to death. So death was actually in there, but the 2 federal stalking charges. And that is, in fact, what happened shortly after we left the airwaves. Luigi Mangione ended up in court, and he had to give a statement that said, yes, I 3D printed this gun, and I traveled to New York City with the intention of killing Brian Thompson. And he talked about how he had to pretend to be a shareholder to figure out where this meeting of the United Healthcare group was going to be taking place, and he got the info. And then he went and staked the place out. And waited there until the CEO came walking by, and he shot him 3 times in the back and then made a run for it. This was a 100% honest-to-goodness guilty plea that was about as solid and full-throated as one could hope for. I say this because there's a couple of things now. Number one is that his attorneys must have finally figured out, look,
if we do this...
Yeah.
There's one little thing left that we could do.
Yeah, we're gonna get beaten on 2 fronts here if we don't, to take this deal. And it wasn't even a deal, by the way, but it really was just pleading guilty on the federal level meant most likely they were not going to pursue the state charges because of New York's weird double jeopardy laws. I personally don't have a problem if you broke both a state law and a federal law. and it was the same law and it was the same crime. I don't care if you get charged twice. I'm fine with that. Double jeopardy means basically, if I were to try Steve for the murder of, I don't know, let's just arbitrarily say John Bird, and he's found not guilty, then later, if I dig up more evidence, I don't get to charge him again. That's the whole reason for double jeopardy, is you'd better get it right the first time. Okay, now charging somebody with, well, you broke the federal law and you broke the state law, even though it was the same crime. You broke both laws. We're going to try in both places. I'm fine with that. Never has bothered me. Does bother a lot of people. I understand that. So they knew in New York he could feasibly get the death penalty. Probably wouldn't. New York hasn't killed anybody in a really long time. But given the choice between serving your time in a federal pen and serving your time in a state prison, I think you want the federal pen. It's going to be a little nicer. Most likely he's not going to end up in like a supermax or something like that, but he's going to end up in a medium security prison. And there's every reason to believe, I guess, December 8th, I think, is when they said the sentencing is going to take place. There's every reason to believe that he's going to spend the rest of his life there because he was found guilty. Well,
December 18th.
18th. He pleaded guilty to both charges.
Yeah.
This would be a nice little Merry Christmas present for him.
Good luck to you. I mean,
well, look, what's amazing to me is that there are still people out there who are trying to claim that this is all a scam and Luigi Mangione didn't do it.
oh, come on.
Really.
Once again, how much more evidence do you need? This is like the third time we've been through this.
We got the guy on video doing the shooting. They found him with the equipment and everything in the McDonald's in Pennsylvania, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I guarantee you're going to run across the same thing. I sincerely believe that Tyler Robinson is going to plead guilty. In the long run, he's going to cut a deal to save his life, not get the death penalty. The whole reason the death penalty is on the table is for exactly that, so that they can say, look, we'll take that off the table. All you have to do is admit to it. And he's going to. And then, I don't know what Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson do at that point. They're going to have to figure out some new angle to come at. Like he was forced into it, he was coerced into it, they told him to.
Looks like he did it all himself. No one was coerced.
No real question about it, and all of the evidence is pointing toward exactly that. But these folks are so desperate for, a lot. I think the only reason that we are more familiar with this is because these are large-voiced people that happen to be on social media. Because Alex Jones has been doing this crap forever, since before there ever was a Twitter.
New. It's not a new game.
He's been making nonsensical statements and conspiracy theories up the wazoo forever and ever, amen. And not one of them has ever been proven correct or had even the slightest bit of evidence to back it up. So, but I do think in the long run, Tyler Robinson is probably going to plead guilty as well. And then we'll have put both of these to bed, hopefully, and we can move on with our lives. And maybe nobody else goes out and does something stupid like this, understanding the penalties that come from after it. 8:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Stick around. There's at least another hour and a half of show to go. I mean, there's about 20 minutes of content, but there's an hour and a half of show. The Violent Femmes. 8:36, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Yeah, there will be blisters in the sun a little bit later because, good Lord, what in the world are we doing with a 99-degree high and 112 in the heat index today? It's 81 already, and it's only 8:36. We're on our way. Yeah, boy. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Mr. Bugs is ready to take care of what bugs you. You know, the heat, extreme heat, kind of thing that can drive bugs inside. They're like, ooh, we don't like it out here. Where's the air conditioning? Oh, it's in your house. That's why they're on their way in. They also like your food, and they want to hang out, just with you because you're such a cool person. It's time that Mr. Bugs comes and takes care of that for you. They can lay down that barrier to keep the bugs on the outside. And while you're at it, talk to them about mosquito reduction in this weather. Maybe you're not spending a lot of time outside because it's so hot, but when you do go outside, you don't want to be eaten alive. And wet and hot just creates a lot of mosquito problems. So I love my mosquito reduction. Couldn't get by without it. They do my termite bonding too. So it's all kind of bundled together, and I get a great low price. That's Mr. Bugs to you, MRBUGGS.com, MrBugs.com, 9416252. They know what bugs you. Well, here's a story that I just never thought of it this way before. A Brooklyn socialist lawmaker declared this week that shoplifters have a right to steal items like soap and toothpaste from local stores.
Oh, do they?
Yes, they shouldn't be arrested because of their biological need for these products. A state assemblywoman, Emily Gallagher, strongly suggested shoplifting should be legalized while joined at a news conference outside Manhattan Criminal Court on Thursday by other lefty polls and criminal justice advocates with Courtwatch NYC. The group claimed it monitored 360 arraignments over 4 days and found more than half were for misdemeanor offenses. Most of what we saw were crimes of poverty, people who were stealing things like toothpaste, people who were stealing things like, soap. That means if you're stealing those things, you need them, said Gallagher, who reps Greenpoint and other sections of woke northern Brooklyn. I don't know much about Emily Gallagher, but I can tell you just from her photo here, she hasn't missed a lot of meals. We are choosing to protect billion-dollar companies like CVS and Walgreens over the people who are struggling to get by. So I would say that the true crime is that there's such incredible wealth disparity in this city that there are people who can be thrown in jail simply for having a biological need. Well, Emily, here's the story. If you catch them doing the small stuff, they tend not to engage in the big stuff. There's a reason why about half the cases tend to be misdemeanors and small fry stuff, because that's what exactly your Walgreens and your CVSs are trying to stop. They're trying to stop them from moving on to the next level of crime. And I don't care but I need it. Good. You should save up some money. Let me see. Let me see your cell phone. What's your cell phone plan? Okay, you can afford toothpaste.
Do we know if Emily has any children?
Judging from the way she looks, no.
I think Emily should not have any children, not based on how she looks, just based on her philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to raise a child that believes that they can go down to the candy store and take as many candy bars as they want.
Well, because they need them. They need
right,
them. They're going to have them. Yeah.
Right.
It's unfair to keep them from having that
this
candy.
she's just ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it what it is. This is pure ignorance. It truly is.
I don't know another way to put it. I think you've summed it up very nicely there. She's ignorant of how economics works. If you go into a Walgreens or a CVS and you steal that bar of Irish Spring and you walk out with it, well, that is something that CVS and or Walgreens purchased with the intent to resell, and they don't get to resell it. It's gone now, so they have to eat the cost of that. And the way they eat the cost of that is to raise the cost of everything else.
And then you and I pay for
exactly
the next Irish Spring a whole lot more for it.
We're the ones who end up paying for it, and they probably spread it out over lots of different products, not just Irish Spring. But this is one of the reasons why the prices are high. And we've already been down this road in San Francisco when they decided that anything below $990 just wasn't even worthy of being pursued.
And why did we randomly pick that number? I mean, that came from somewhere.
Yeah, they were looking for something close to 1,000, I think is what
Yeah.
they wanted, or something. It was,
It's
you
like,
know,
well, why didn't you stop at 100?
Yeah, why-
What about $99?
like,
I mean, why does it really matter what the number? Why don't you say $9,000?
right, could have been
Because
9,000.
What does it matter? If you
They were under the impression that they were picking a number that everyone could live with without bothering to listen to their constituents who were saying, no number is a number we can live with. Not any number. That is unacceptable
sounds
to
like
us.
sounds like the southern border, Richard.
Yeah, as you're going to have people show up, and we saw it in real time. We had footage. Sometimes it was cell phone footage. Sometimes it was security footage of people bringing black plastic bags into these stores and just sweeping items off the shelves into the bags and walking out with them. And then they would go sell them on eBay or whatever, because they had the ability to do that. And it added up to $850 worth of stuff, so they would barely get pursued. And if they did get pursued, they'd be out on a cashless bail in no time, never return the stuff, sell the stuff, make the profit, whatever. California had to change and end that experiment relatively rapidly because it turned out exactly the way us naysayers said it was going to turn out. You're going to have nonstop shoplifting there because there are some people who the only reason they do the right thing is that they're punished if they do the wrong thing. And it turns out there were a lot more people like that than we thought. They
Which
also
is
lost.
sad,
Remember all
yeah.
the businesses that left?
Oh, I know. And then you think of some of those businesses, they went to the point where, well, we're going to lock everything up. Like we're going to put it. Think of the money they spent trying to get the plexiglass and the locks for the doors to lock everything up so that people wouldn't steal it. Then you'd have to have more workers in there to go to the locks to open up what it was that you wanted from behind the case.
Yep.
It just it's just head shaking that you knew in the very beginning when they talked about this that it was going to lead to a disaster, and it did over and over and over again.
I would say the solution here, when you're talking about people who can't afford soap and can't afford toothpaste, they're probably homeless people for starters, right? I mean, if you can't afford those basics, what are you doing in New York City? That's a fair question. But having a nonprofit organization that comes to the aid, that goes to wealthy people and collects money and says, hey, we want to help out some of these poorer folks. And strangely enough, in New York City, a lot of those incredibly wealthy people are liberals. And they'll be like, yeah, let me write you a big old check so you can go buy a bunch of toothpaste and soap, and then create a situation where toothpaste and soap is available to these people without charge. But you can't just have it sitting on shelves in the middle of a store somewhere and have them come in and get it, because if there's one thing I found is that if they need one tube of toothpaste, they'll take 5. If they need one bar of soap, they'll take 10. And it's like, no, you got to have enough for everybody here. We want to make sure that the next homeless person or the next person who's in need of toothpaste and soap can come get it. So you can have one. And you're going to have to, police that pretty diligently. But I definitely think that you could get a nonprofit, helpful organization, because there are people with big hearts out there who would be more than happy to donate to the cause. And then you just need to find somebody who's going to be willing to run it right and run it tightly and get that taken care of. But for the most part, stealing a loaf of bread and saying, well, I was hungry, it's not a get out of jail free card.
No, again, we live in a very, very generous, well-to-do country that there are people left and right. I think about the number of churches in the state of Alabama and other states that are there to lend a helping hand anytime. Most every church has some kind of group that says, hey, this week we're going to go down to the pantry, we're going to do this, or hey, we're going to go to this house and help build this or renovate this. I mean, it happens all summer long with church groups with kids. It goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of resources for somebody that needs a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
I mean, this country is that great. There shouldn't be anybody that's in need of bread. If you need bread, it's plentiful. You just have to ask for it, and you have to find the right resources. Stealing it and shoplifting it is not the answer. And this, again, Emily Gallagher, wherever she's coming up with, yeah, we need to make sure that this is legalized. Shoplifting is legalized. What? Those two things don't even go together.
No. And really, maybe you should start thinking about going gluten-free. I'm just saying. You're
Get away from the
out
bread.
there grabbing the
Get
bread.
away from the bread.
Think about going gluten-free. Try to get off the carbs.
It's just
They're not that good
it's
for you.
head shaking.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But then again, this is the new Democratic Party, the nonsensical Democratic Socialists of America, who continue to run down this cuckoo crazy road of, well, we're going to rearrange everything, and it's unfair that these people have to pay for this stuff. Well, I don't know if you're aware of it or not. Somebody's paying for this stuff. Somebody has to pay for this stuff. And unless they're doing so voluntarily, then you are stealing from somebody. You want to talk about theft? You're stealing from me every time you let somebody get away with shoplifting at a store that I frequent, because now their prices are going to go up and I'm having to pay. And that's theft from me.
Yeah.
So, I really do believe a lot of these people never got so far as Econ 101. And
Or they
tend-
skip the class, one of the two.
They make all of their decisions and opinions based upon emotion.
That's right. It's all feel good.
Yeah.
That it's the right thing to do. And it's shoplifting. We're going to legalize it. There's no, we could not survive as a country if you make shoplifting legal.
As a society,
you can't do that.
never going to work.
Ah.
Never going to work as a society. It's just the way it is. 848 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Your thoughts are always welcome. 545-9950 or download the app. You can text us from there. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Best bumper music in the business. Right here on Dixon and Vining. And, of course, I pick all the songs.
We can't take any
so
credit
no,
for
right. She
Richard.
picks all the songs.
You give credit where credit is due.
It's amazing how that story diverged right there.
Maria says 280 inbound at Brook Highlands, center lane blocked, minor fender bender. They should be moving in a moment. I think they did move that. That was about almost an hour ago, 45 minutes ago or so. Happy Citizen says the water hose faucet on the front of the house is normally street pressure, which is 100 to 200 pounds. The one on the back of the house has a regulator. It's normally 70 pounds. Yeah. The one on the front of the house has been bursted. I've burst it twice. And every single time my yard guys are there, I have to remember to go check it and turn it off because sometimes they use it to hose down their equipment.
I've had that happen.
I hope they're not doing it today. I don't think today is. I think next Monday is their
yard day today.
And I think yard day is next Monday.
Yeah, I'm looking at the traffic map, and there is a 280 inbound from 459 up. Where is that at? I guess almost to where Brookwood Mall used to be.
Gotcha.
Getting up toward it.
Oh, my.
So just, no, that's kind of backed up.
That's probably just regular.
It might be regular
morning
traffic,
jam
but
traffic,
it
yeah.
looks
Could be.
like it's a mess. Well, they're doing all that construction through
course.
there, too. They're trying to do that road work. Good Lord, is that a mess? Could they wrap that up, please? Come on, chop, chop.
Billy says, I can't stand Kyle from Blindster. Every commercial break.
Hi,
I'm so sick
Kyle.
of, hi, I'm Kyle.
Kyle's a nice guy.
Makes me never want to use
We
his
love
company.
Kyle.
Come on, leave Kyle alone. Kyle is keeping this radio station on the air single-handedly. Him and Dave from Flowery Branch, Georgia. David.
My name is David.
My name is David. I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, that guy just introduced you. He told us.
That's
you
right.
were
We
David.
told you were Dave.
And then he says, "Hi,
There you
I'm
go.
David." We're like, "Well, no, he just told us that you were.
What do you got, a
you were
short
about
attention
to."
span there, David? I thought Prevagen was supposed to help that. What are you doing?
Oh.
Wilson points out pants are for some weddings, some funerals, and really good dinners.
Oh.
Okay, Wilson.
You know, nowadays, Wilson, you could get away with shorts at a nice dinner. I see it all. I was at a really nice Italian restaurant about a week and a half ago when my mom was in town, and we got dressed because I was like, this is one of the nicer restaurants in town, and I get there, everybody else is kind of, dressed like you're going to a decent place to eat, and in walks this young 20-something guy with a white T-shirt that had writing on it, flip-flop sandals, and a pair of shorts, and his date was dressed similarly. I was like, did you not see the white tablecloths? And it's kind of dark in here, and they've got the music that's, it's kind of a nice restaurant. People just don't care anymore.
Apparently
they
not.
have no shame. People have no shame.
Going for casual date night.
I'm like,
I think his
we don't care. We're coming in here.
his money spends like everybody
I
else's.
mean, we're talking like, $70 plates or something. Okay, you're going to drop a couple $100, you and your date and your flip-flops and your T-shirt.
There are some high-end places
Like, is there
that
not any
insist you wear a
place?
jacket. but
Right.
yeah.
Is there not some place that you just say, hey, you're not wearing, you got to go?
Sorry, sir. Just come back when you own a pair of socks. Sean says, I heard Mr. Bugs is finishing his last year of medical school where he'll finally be Dr. Bugs.
Oh, listen to that.
Actually, it's not medical school. It's divinity school. He's going to be Reverend Bugs.
Reverend.
Yeah.
The jokes.
We got them all, baby. We got them jokes like nobody knows. McGee says, Emily Gallagher looks like she's been to every donut shop in Brooklyn. Yeah, twice.
I don't think Emily's not bashful. She's not shy.
Not about her weight
And
anyway.
she doesn't care.
Doesn't seem to care
I think
much.
Emily doesn't care.
No, she gave up a long time
She's
ago.
coming
You
into
can
that
see
same restaurant I was in with her flip-flops and T-shirt. She doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't get it. The rest of us get it.
College football athlete whose injuries derailed his playing career during his freshman year has decided to come back onto the field and compete at the age of 47.
Well, you go.
His name is Justin Buzzard.
Great name.
A South Bay
Perfect.
pastor.
Well on the
Yep.
back of the jersey.
Yep.
Huh.
South Bay pastor at Garden City Church. Tried out for and made the football team this year at the San Jose City College Jaguars. I'm going to guess that is a level 3, Division 3, whatever you call that.
Because I said I don't know who this team is.
That's one step above high school.
Yeah.
Buzzard told NBC Bay Area that he got the idea after his son flagged for him a social media reel where a man in his 60s was playing football on the East Coast. Buzzard said he played football all throughout high school and the first year of college. It stirred me up, this thought of maybe I should give it a shot, he said, reviving his football dreams. He reached out to a coach at the college, who, to his surprise, agreed to talk with him. He's now lining up again as a defensive end, the position he played during his college experience with his own locker and equipment. Here's the standard. Here's the rules that we go by. As long as you can maintain those, I'll give you an opportunity, recounted Jim Winkler, head coach for the Jaguars, on what he first said to Buzzard. Winkler said having Buzzard on board is actually a benefit. He said, talk a little bit about, leaving things undone, regret, et cetera, and now Buzzard is back to, take care of that regret. They don't say anything about him actually signing up with the college, though. There's no reference here in this article about him actually
taking classes?
Going to classes, which
Come
I find
on,
interesting.
You got to do that. Plus, is there not? Do we not need a cutoff for? Well, they're working on it, I guess, for college football.
Yeah, they've got to have
an age.
I
think there just comes a point where you're like, no.
What would you make the upper end age if you could?
I don't know, 25, 26?
I might go as high as 30.
30 you would? I think 30's high.
Well, it depends. There's some guys who get out of high school, they join the military. So right there, 18 to 22, you've taken up that span of time because that's where you're getting the money to go to college. And then if you get in and you get red-shirted in your first year, maybe you have a year between the service and college, now you're 23. You get red-shirted for your first year. Now you're 24, and you're moving your way forward.
28.
Yeah.
We're at 28.
28? You're good with 28?
28 sounds still high, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, how good a football player are you? If you're a really good football player, you're going straight to college and doing NIL, and then maybe doing military after.
Maybe. Maybe not.
You do it the other way.
Yeah, we'll see. They're working on this, and you're right. They're coming up with new rules and guidelines all the time. But yeah,
the 47 is a little
long in the tooth.
Yeah, come on.
And as long as you're in shape and you can, keep up with the youngsters, knock yourself out. I have a feeling that he's older than the coach. 9 o'clock. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Stick around. Steve's turn coming up in the next hour.